Welcome once again to It's Friday but Sunday's Coming. This is our weekly video message from Evangelical Alliance Ireland, and a Happy New Year to you. And today I am joined by Mitch from Crown Jesus Ministries. Mitch, great to see you again.
Oh, great to be back again. I was on your podcast maybe about 2 years ago now, Nick.
Yeah.
How time flies. So,
I know.
So for the last 2 years, every week I'm texting you, can I get on this show? Eventually, he's got me back on. And a Happy New Year to everyone. So excited for what God's going to do 2026.
And you've got great things in store with Crown Jesus Ministries, haven't you?
Well, we're so thankful. We're 26 years, now going into your 27th year. And, you want to go from strength to strength.
Yeah.
And we are very thankful for all that God is doing through the ministry. We're just starting in 2026 a new project in County Mayo. So we finished in Wicklow in November and December, a great project there. And now we're just starting out in the one in Mayo, looking forward to partnering with the churches there. And our School of Evangelism is back. So we started that way back in 2017. And this is going to be our best one yet.
Okay, so what's that going to look like, the School of Evangelism?
Great question.
I need to know, because I know I'm teaching one of the
You
courses.
are teaching on it, so that's kind of important. Well, the story of it was we started in 2017. It had been on our heart for some time. We'd been doing some evangelism training, but we wanted something that had a good... use this word carefully, like academic discipline in it, a strong theology of evangelism and practice. And that's why we started the course. And back in 2017, 2018 courses, they were 20-week courses. We brought guest speakers in from all sorts of places, the best of the best. And then the last time we ran it, Nick, we ran it in Belfast and Dublin, because if we have a heart, and we do have a heart for the whole island, if you run it in Belfast, well, guess what? You just get Belfast people. Yeah. So Olga Malarkey was working with us then, and she was instrumental, and we used our Dublin hub, our offices there, and Belfast. And it was a great celebration in the fact that we had more folk from the Republic of Ireland who were on the course than from the north. And so this time we decided, let's do this as a little bit of a journey, and we're inviting people and sign up to journey with us through the 4 ancient provinces of Ireland. And rather than having like every Monday night like they were in the past, there'll be 4 Saturday blocks. One Saturday in Belfast where you'll do 4 one-hour teaching sessions. One Saturday in Galway. One Saturday in Dublin where we'll do apologetics, and one Saturday in Limerick. And we're asking everybody over those months, that'll be one Saturday in February, March, April, and then June. And then we're asking people to journey with us. So people from Galway come to Dublin and see what God is doing in the church in Dublin, and we're going to walk the streets and pray as well as doing the classroom sessions. So that's what it's going to look like. And the heart behind it is that people will get a strong, robust theology on evangelism, but also have like an unction to get out there and get on with the mission of God.
Yeah. And have you got people already enrolling for it? Is enrollment underway?
Yep, enrollment started back in November, and people are enrolling for that. And it's not too late. On the 19th of January, there will be an induction, which will be on Zoom. And then February will be the first gathering. So we have a breadth of teachers who are involved in that. Of course, Nick is in teaching one of the sessions on that. We have got Pete Linus, who's involved in Evangelical Alliance Northern Ireland and UK. Some people joining us via Zoom to teach as well. Zach Mearcreebs, you may not have heard that name, but quite possibly you've heard of the Ashbury Revival. And Zach was influential. He was the guy who was, I guess, stewarding that. He was there, preached the first morning when that revival broke out. And we're just going to hear from that level of speakers who have been in revival, who are active in evangelism and the mission of God, and people who are based in Limerick, people who are based in Galway and in Dublin. So we want people who have a heart for the whole island, and it's going to be very practical, but by the same token we want an impartation.
You know, it's great, I mean, because you're talking about way back to 2017, but it's like a massively different landscape now, isn't it? It's just, I mean, what God is doing across the country now, it's transformed.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, even before this broadcast, Nick, you were telling me in the Church of God, you have 13 new churches in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. And I'm hearing those stories time and time again from all different cultures and backgrounds. You know, the Baptist Church, the number of churches that they've planted, Redeemed Church of God, means they seem to be popping up in every county every week. And why is all of this happening? I think, well, it's not a think. I know when I see this from experience, not just from Belfast, but all around Ireland, that there are more and more people from all kinds of backgrounds. And I would say particularly men, like in their 20s and 30s and 40s, who are searching for truth, and they are sick and tired with being disappointed with politicians, with social media, even with their own lifestyle and drugs and addiction, and people want to break out of that and they're wanting something more. And it is amazing the number of young men that we have seen. When I say young men, I'm talking about men in their 20s and 30s who are making a decision for Jesus. And here's the thing, Nick, when they make a decision, it's not even like we have to do, like I remember, whenever I became a Christian 30 years ago, they used to have these like inquirers classes, 6 weeks to maybe think about becoming a Christian. And then the more modern thing, I've been very successful, has been Alpha. But I've just found there's loads of these people, they don't need an Alpha or an inquirers class. They want to follow Jesus. And when they make a decision, they're all in.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier to disciple somebody when they're fully committed rather than 70% committed, but I still want to keep my little habits or whatever. Seems to be an exciting moment. Now, what we need to do, Nick, is of course nurture these young disciples.
Exactly, because evangelism is not just bringing people to the point of decision, but it's producing disciples. And I know God is doing something undoubtedly. And he's doing it north, south, he's doing it in the UK, he's actually across Europe and even North America. But one of the things that does concern me a little bit is that some of these people now, they are actually being discipled by people maybe on social media who are new Christians themselves. And, so it's really important that we have evangelism training that prepares the way for getting into that process, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think there's a little bit of a contrast going on, Nick, and this is where we've got this problem, is we have these young people, and slightly older, who are making decisions to follow Jesus, and they don't particularly care about some of the lexical semantics and gymnastics and doctrines. Not that doctrine's not important, but at the level of where the church is at. Mm-hmm. And at the same time as we've got this great quiet revival happening, seems to be more and more division, Nick, among churches in terms of women in leadership and the gifts for today, and very angry kind of confrontations. Mm-hmm. And then you've got these young Christians who are checking out of church and setting up their social media, as you rightly say, and then as if they're the guru mentor to these young guys. And one thing we must remember in all of this, right? Paul put it very well in Ephesians: husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. How much did Jesus love the church? He died for it. How much should we love the church? Same. We need to fall in love with the family of God again. And we need people who are committed to life-giving churches that, yes, do have strong doctrine, but are not focused so much on being the gatekeepers of what is right and wrong, but focusing on discipleship. And let's remember in this, Nick, disciples make disciples. Yeah. And the best translation for the word disciple today is an apprentice. So apprentices make apprentices. So you don't have to get to the top of the ladder and know it all in order to make another apprentice, but you have to have a humble spirit. Yeah. And you have to be connected to the local church.
Absolutely. So look, for people now that maybe are watching this, say, you know what, I'd love to check out the School of Evangelism. What kind of commitment are we talking about? How many months?
Okay, so in terms of commitment and time, first of all, so you go to crownjesus.org/SOE and you'll get all of the details there. So the commitment will be, there are 21-hour teaching sessions. So it'll be 4 Saturdays, and the 4 Saturdays you will do 4 teaching sessions.
Okay, so that's
And
16 of them
That's
straight away
16.
there.
And then there are 4 Monday nights, which you can jump on in Zoom. So the Belfast folk don't have to travel to Dublin. Belfast folk don't travel anywhere, Nick, but they don't have to travel to Dublin for one night. You can watch that on Zoom. So 4, the options there on Zoom. The others, we strongly encourage you to journey with us. Now, in terms of commitment, people have all sorts of situations and circumstances. If they set out at the start and say, I really have every intention of being in Limerick on the 8th of June, 7th of June, and you go, but now something's come up, a family commitment, they will all be recorded.
Okay.
But what we don't want, Nick, is people just doing the course online.
Yeah, so that's an emergency backup.
It's
rather
exactly.
than the default.
It's supplementary too. And the course, because the course is not one of these little chat bot, Mitch, hi, welcome to today's course. And it's all robot. It's very much Q&A, praying together, praying with one another, grappling with evangelism in your cultural context. So it's going to be great.
Okay, so check out the website. It's going to be up on the screen, but
crownjesus.org/SOE for School of Evangelism.
Okay, and if God's speaking to you about this, be part of the School of Evangelism, and I believe God's going to use this. This is the time. It's the right time for this, and the nation's ready for it. Mitch, thanks so much for joining us.
Bless you. Thank you.
God bless you, mate.
Thank you.
Bye. EAI is working on your behalf to equip, connect and represent the Church of Jesus Christ in our nation, providing resources and speaking into spaces where God's people need to be heard in our society today.
I'm here to ask you to join our mission. We're looking for 1,000 people who will commit to giving just a pinch more than the price of a cup of coffee per month. By using this QR code, you can sign up to support the work of EAI with just €5 per month.
It is so important at a time like this to have a Christian perspective being spoken boldly into the political and social spheres in which we are living. Why? Because when we are together, we thrive, we grow, we make a difference.
Your generosity is needed to keep our mission moving forward. Be one of the 1,000, just €5 a month. God bless you.